Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to do a recap of Season 1 of the anime series called Build Divide Code Black. In New Kyoto, a city governed by the king, one's worth is determined by his or her strength in the Build Divide trading card game. Rumors swirl about New Kyoto and its king. If you defeat the king in Build Divide, any wish will be fulfilled. And in order to challenge the king, one must participate in the TCG battle known as Rebuild, and the key must be completed. Everyone has a wish they long to have fulfilled, and beating the king is the way for the wish to be fulfilled. Teruto Kurabe, a boy who vows to take down the king, and Sakura Banka, the mysterious girl who guides him, throw themselves into the Rebuild battle. With New Kyoto as the stage, the curtain rises and the battle begins for Teruto and his friends. The series takes place in the city of New Kyoto. A card game named Build Divide is very crucial and important here. There's a king, and anyone who can defeat the king has their wish granted by the king. We then see a girl named Sakura Banka. She is running around the streets. In reality, she's being pursued by a thug. The thug is after the key chips owned by Sakura. The thug attacks her with a card that makes a blast. Sakura defends using her own card. She starts to run again, and she bumps into a boy named Teruto Kurabe. As she trips, Teruto holds her and prevents her from falling. As he holds Sakura, he drops the food he was holding, which in turn gets stepped on by the thug. Teruto gets very annoyed, and the thug turns toward Teruto and takes out a knife to attack him. As the thug charges toward him to attack, Teruto pulls out a card to counter his attack. He summons some very overpowered entity, and they make short work of the thug. Sakura feels bad that Teruto's food got wasted because of her, and to make up for that, she offers some food to Teruto. Sakura and Teruto sit together, and she starts to talk to him. Teruto tells her that he has no knowledge about his power, and even the card he pulled just now. He was already holding the card when he woke up. It seems that Teruto is suffering from memory loss. Sakura then explains to him what the Build Divide game is. She says that it's very important, and to live in New Kyoto, he must know how to play Build Divide. The king of New Kyoto grants any wish to a person who does well in the game. To better explain the game, Sakura challenges Teruto to a friendly match. She goes on to explain that Build Divide cards contain mysterious powers. Each deck consists of 41 cards in total, and the most powerful card in any deck is an ace card, also known as territory card. Ace card use wisely can lead a player to victory. Each player has a scout lens that is activated by blinking twice. Teruto starts the match. He put down many cards that release units that are used by Teruto in the attack phase. Sakura informs him that as there is no card defending her, he can directly attack her life points, and one's life bar falls to 0, the person loses. They continue their match. Sakura activates her ace card, Laura, and they get transported into Sakura's territory. Teruto is magically knowing what card to use. Sakura then pulls out a buster card that deals additional damage. As the match continues, Teruto has a vision where he gets a message that he must defeat the king. He pulls his hoodie up and suddenly is a different man. He uses his ace card Bloom and finally wins. Sakura recognizes his potential and asks him to help her defeat the king. She registers him and gives him some key chips so he can take up more opponents. The next day, Sakura again buys food for Teruto. Teruto is suffering from amnesia and has no memory. Sakura sees that he is wearing the uniform of Kamaku Academy, where she also studies, and takes him there. On the way, she explains that their level of strength in the Build Divide determines their living standard in the city. A teacher comes and recognizes Teruto as an exchange student and takes him to class. During break time, a girl named Hayori Munanashi challenges Teruto on the school roof. She wagers 1 key chip, while Teruto wagers all his key chips. She uses her ace card, but Teruto counters with his own, and he wins. Hayori starts to cry, stating that she was born in a poor family and somehow got hold of a Build Divide card. She wants to get out of poverty using Build Divide and asks Teruto to train her. Teruto agrees to train her. Sakura, Hayori, and Teruto go to a hideout where challengers hang out, and there are rumors that people are getting kidnapped there. But when they go in to find everyone unconscious, a man is shown walking away from there. As they continue, they see a protest going on. Teruto gets lost in the crowd, but is pulled to the side by someone. Sakura meets up with a man in a cafe, and he tells her that a man named Naomitsu Inju defeated everyone at the hideout. Naomitsu was the one who pulled Teruto. They hang near his tent and drink coffee. Sakura calls Naomitsu and asks him to fight Teruto. The next day, they fight. Teruto bet all his chips, and Naomitsu also bet 4 chips to match. Teruto beats Naomitsu by using his own summon against him, and he wins all the chips. Sakura was happy because they won key chips, but the chips they had were not enough to challenge the king. Teruto asks Naomitsu why he doesn't leave the city if he is so fed up, and Hiyori tells him that there's nothing left outside New Kyoto. Later, Hiyori asks Teruto to train him, and he refuses, so she buys his favorite food for him. Somewhere, the man named Tatsumi Ishinomi, the one who gave Sakura the info, is approached by a girl who asks him to find Teruto. Teruto challenges some upperclassmen for cakes and bread. Sakura scolds him, but he makes an excuse that it was special training for Hiyori. Sakura goes to look for more challengers. Hiyori and Teruto are passing near a shrine when they spot a girl wearing a mask. She challenges Teruto to fight, and if he wins, he'll get special croissants. They were pulled in battle, and she bound Hiyori to a pillar. At first, Teruto took it easy on her, but her skills make him up his game. During the match, he has reoccurring flashbacks, which show that he knows the girl from before, and the flashback shows them together when they were small kids. Eventually, Teruto loses to the girl, which is revealed to be his twin young sister named Kika Karube, and the king of New Kyoto. Sakura comes there as Tatsumi takes Kika away. Teruto is depressed to learn that the king he was hunting is his own younger sister. At the base, Kika shows the desire to fight Teruto again. She fights with a training doll, but is bored. She wishes to be able to play with Teruto. It is heard by the assistant, Mario Higuma. He asks her to wait, as Teruto will grow more strong, and asks her to sleep to rebuild her strength to balance Teruto's strength. Then she goes to sleep by being wrapped in many cables. Tatsumi comes and tells him he will take care of the problem named Teruto. Teruto is still depressed, and he's fishing and not practicing. Sakura and Hiyori come there and try to persuade him to battle, but he does not agree and goes away. Sakura and Hiyori go to a cafe for making a strategy. Teruto goes to the bank of the river where Tatsumi was already fishing. They chat, and Tatsumi asks him to not give up fighting. While taking to Tatsumi, Teruto sees the memory of his past when he used to play card games with Kika and always lost. He finds his passion to get strong again. Sakura devises a plan and releases Teruto's location to challengers. Sakura and Hiyori hurry to his location, and he had already defeated all the challengers, gathering 11 key chips in the process. Later, we see Naomitsu wakes up in front of Teruto's tent. They carry him to Sakura's apartment. He wakes up and tells them that he fainted after losing a fight with a new group from New Kyoto University led by Professor Kaizen Mahito. He defeated Naomitsu after observing his fights with his students. Naomitsu defeated all the students but suffered a loss at Kaizen's hand. We also learn that Kaizen has been kidnapping people to use as guinea pigs in experiments. They decide to avenge Naomitsu and challenge Kaizen, which will also win them a lot of key chips. Sakura, Teruto, Naomitsu, and Hiyori go to Kaizen in the guise of students who want to learn. He gives them the tour of the facility, and Teruto is surprised to find nothing suspicious going on. But soon in the library, they realize that Sakura is not with them and is most likely kidnapped. Teruto is about to storm off to find her when Hiyori touches a pile of books, revealing a hidden entrance to the basement. In the basement, they see the real monstrosity and cruelty of New Kyoto University. Many people were strapped to the beds and were subjected to strange experiments, and Kaizen held Sakura hostage and threatened them to stop. Teruto ignores him and uses his cards to find Sakura and Kaizen. Teruto and Kaizen both wager their all chips, and then the fight begins. Kaizen is not taking the fight seriously until Teruto unleashes the bloom, but Kaizen reveals he has a trick to defeat Teruto. He quickly summons the card needed for his strategy. Teruto attacks back with a Soul Steel card, and Bloom uses Darkness. Kaizen knows this strategy, but he's still unable to counter Teruto, and he ends up losing to Teruto. Teruto gets all of Kaizen's chips, and the series ends with Teruto's win over Kaizen. And that's all for today, guys. If you liked the recap and want more recaps like this, consider subscribing to our channel.